My dear soul, the universe shows your soulmate is ready to express their feelings. Something powerful is unfolding around you right now. You may not see it clearly yet. You may not hear the words yet, but deep within the unseen layers of the universe, a shift has already begun. Energy that once felt distant is now moving toward clarity. Silence that once surrounded your connection is slowly dissolving. The person connected to your soul has reached a moment they can no longer avoid. For a long time, they carried feelings they did not understand. They tried to hide them behind distractions, behind pride, behind fear. They convinced themselves that staying quiet would protect them. But the universe does not allow destined emotions to stay buried forever. And something inside them has awakened, something stronger than hesitation, something stronger than doubt. The truth of their heart has become louder than the walls they built around it. If you are hearing this message right now, it is not a coincidence. This moment is aligning with your energy because you were meant to receive this awareness. But before we go deeper into what is unfolding, pause for a moment. Take a slow breath. Allow these words to settle in your spirit, because the message you are about to hear carries a powerful confirmation. Now listen carefully, dear soul, because what is happening around your connection is not ordinary. The universe has been working behind the scenes for longer than you realize. There were moments when you felt confused, moments when their actions did not match the connection you felt inside. Sometimes they came close, then suddenly pulled away. Sometimes their silence felt louder than words. During those times, you may have wondered if you imagined the depth of this bond. You may have questioned whether the feelings you sensed were real. But the universe was allowing something important to happen. Your soulmate needed time to face themselves. They needed time to understand why your presence affected them so deeply. Because when two souls share a true connection, it does not feel simple at first. It shakes old patterns. It awakens hidden emotions. It forces the heart to confront truths it once avoided. And that is exactly what happened within them. At first, they tried to escape the intensity of what they felt for you. They told themselves it was temporary. They told themselves it would fade with time. But instead of fading, the feeling grew stronger. Your energy stayed with them even when you were not present. Your memory appeared in quiet moments they could not control, and slowly they began to realize something undeniable. Their heart was no longer neutral, it was deeply involved. Dear soul, understand this clearly. A person does not reach the stage of confession overnight. It is a journey that happens inside their mind and heart. And for your soulmate, that journey has reached a turning point. Recently, they started recognizing how much your absence affects them. They noticed how empty certain moments feel without your presence. They realized that the connection they once tried to ignore now holds a special place within them. This realization did not come from pressure. It came from the quiet truth of their own emotions. The universe has been guiding them through subtle awakenings. Conversations they overheard, dreams they experienced, memories that resurfaced unexpectedly. All these moments acted like gentle signals. Signals reminding them that the feelings they carry for you are real. And now something inside them is preparing to speak. But dear soul, before that expression arrives, the universe wants you to understand something important. Your role in this connection was never to chase or force anything. Your role was to remain aligned with your own peace. Your role was to trust that what is meant for you will reveal itself in the right moment. Many chosen ones struggle with this stage, because when silence stretches for too long, the heart begins to doubt. But your patience was not wasted. Every moment you focused on your own growth created airspace for this connection to evolve naturally. While you were healing, they were reflecting. While you were learning self-respect, they were learning emotional courage. And now those two journeys are beginning to meet at the same point. Dear soul, there is a reason the universe is bringing this message to you now. It is because the emotional barrier that once blocked their honesty is slowly dissolving. The fear that once kept them quiet is losing its power, and the truth they tried to hide is becoming impossible to ignore. You may notice subtle signs soon. Their energy around you may feel softer. Their words may carry a deeper sincerity. They may begin opening small conversations that feel more meaningful than before. These are not random actions. They are the early steps of someone preparing to reveal what they have been holding inside. The universe is guiding them toward authenticity, because real connections cannot survive behind masks forever. Dear soul, stay with me for a moment longer. Feel the calm truth in this message, because the shift happening within them is not driven by pressure. It is driven by realization. And realization is the most powerful force in any heart. When someone finally understands the depth of what they feel, expressions become inevitable. They may still move carefully. They may still choose their words slowly. But the direction of their heart has already changed. The silence that once protected them no longer feels comfortable, and the truth they carry about you has become too meaningful to keep hidden. That is why the universe is sending this message to you today. Not to create expectation, but to bring awareness. Something beautiful is preparing to unfold. The heart connected to yours is no longer running from its feelings. It is learning how to honor them. And when that moment of honesty arrives, it will not feel forced. It will feel natural. It will feel sincere. Because it will come from a place of genuine understanding. Dear soul, the universe wants you to remain calm and centered during this phase. Continue honoring your own energy. Continue trusting your intuition. Because the connection that belongs to your destiny is quietly moving toward clarity. And the person who once struggled to face their feelings is now standing at the edge of truth. Dear soul, there is something else the universe wants you to understand. In this moment of quiet transformation, the person connected to your destiny has been going through an internal awakening that they did not expect. For a long time, they believed emotions could be controlled by logic. They believed feelings could be silenced simply by ignoring them. But the heart does not follow those rules. The heart moves according to truth, and the truth they have been resisting is the connection they feel with you. Recently, they began noticing something unusual within themselves. Small reminders of you started appearing in their daily life. A song that suddenly reminded them of your presence. A quiet moment where your name crossed their mind without warning. A memory of a conversation you once shared that now carried deeper meaning than before. At first, they brushed these moments aside. They told themselves it was coincidence. They told themselves it meant nothing. But the more they tried to dismiss these reminders, the more frequently they appeared, and slowly they started realizing something important. Their heart had never truly moved on from the energy you brought into their life. Dear soul, this realization did not arrive comfortably. It shook their inner world. Because acknowledging their feelings meant confronting the choices they made in the past. It meant admitting that their silence created distance. It meant recognizing that fear kept them from expressing what their heart already knew. For some time they struggled with this awareness. Their mind tried to protect them by creating excuses. Their pride tried to convince them that remaining silent was easier. But the universe kept guiding them back to the same truth. The connection they feel with you is real, and real connections cannot be buried forever. Something inside them began softening. The defensive walls they once relied on started losing their strength. They began reflecting on moments they shared with you. Moments that once felt ordinary now appeared meaningful. They remembered the calm they felt when speaking with you. They remembered the unique understanding that existed between your souls. And with every reflection, their heart moved closer to honesty. Dear soul, The universe often prepares a person for confession through self-awareness. Before someone can express love or deep emotion, they must first understand their own heart. That is, the stage your soulmate has been moving through recently. They have been facing their feelings quietly, not in front of others, not in dramatic ways, but in the privacy of their own thoughts. There were nights when they sat alone, thinking about the connection they once tried to ignore. There were moments when they asked themselves difficult questions. Why did your presence affect them so deeply? Why did your absence leave such a noticeable silence in their life? Why did their heart still react whenever they thought about you? These questions slowly opened a door inside them. A door that led to emotional truth. Dear soul, something beautiful happens when a person stops running from their emotions. Clarity appears. And that clarity is now growing inside your soulmate. They are beginning to understand that what they feel for you is not temporary attraction. It is not curiosity. It is not imagination. It is something deeper. Something that carries meaning. Something that connects to the very core of who they are. And once a person reaches this level of realization, silence becomes heavy. Keeping the truth hidden begins to feel uncomfortable. The heart starts searching for a way to express itself. Your soulmate is approaching that stage now. But understand this clearly, dear soul. The universe does not rush authentic emotions. Everything unfolds in the correct rhythm. Your soulmate is learning how to be emotionally honest, not only with you, but also with themselves. This process is important because when they finally speak, their words will come from genuine understanding rather than confusion. You may notice subtle shifts in their behavior during this period. Their energy may feel more thoughtful when they interact with you. They may observe you more carefully, as if trying to understand something they once overlooked. Their conversations may carry small hints of vulnerability. These are not random changes. These are signs of someone slowly preparing their heart for honesty. Dear soul, remain calm during this phase. Sometimes when the universe prepares a confession, it also tests patience, because true emotional expression must come freely from the other person's heart. It cannot be forced. It cannot be demanded. And your strength has always been your ability to respect the natural timing of things. Continue honoring strength. Continue focusing on your own peace, because your calm energy is one of the reasons this connection is evolving in a healthy way. The universe is allowing both hearts to arrive at the same point of understanding. While your soulmate has been awakening to their emotions, you have been growing in self-awareness. You have been learning to value your own energy. You have been understanding that your worth does not depend on someone else's actions. This balance is important because when two people finally meet in truth, they must meet as whole individuals, not as people searching for validation. Dear soul, the universe sees the quiet patience you carry during moments of uncertainty. It sees the dignity you maintained, even when questions filled your mind, and it is honoring that patience by allowing this connection to unfold in a meaningful way. The heart that once hesitated is now learning courage. The voice that once stayed silent is slowly finding its strength. Your soulmate is realizing that expressing their feelings is not a weakness. It is an act of honesty, and honesty is the foundation of any real connection. Soon they will begin feeling a strong inner push to speak their truth, not because anyone told them to, not because they feel pressure, but because their own heart will no longer allow silence to continue. That moment is closer than you realize. But for now, dear soul, simply stay present. Trust the quiet movements happening behind the scenes, because the universe has already begun aligning the circumstances that will bring this emotional truth into the open. And when that moment arrives, it will carry a sincerity that cannot be misunderstood. Dear soul, something even deeper is unfolding beneath the surface of this connection. Something that your soulmate themselves is only beginning to understand. In the quiet spaces of their mind, they have started confronting memories they once tried to ignore. Not painful memories alone, but meaningful ones. Moments where your presence made them feel something rare, something peaceful, something honest. At the time, they did not fully recognize the value of those moments. Life was moving quickly. Their mind was distracted by responsibilities, by fears, by expectations that came from outside voices. But now, as their awareness grows, those same memories return with a new clarity. They are beginning to see you differently. Not as someone who simply passed through their life, but as someone whose energy quietly changed something inside them. Dear soul, this is the stage where realization becomes undeniable. Because when a person begins seeing the past through the lens of truth, they start recognizing how important certain connections truly were. Your soulmate has been replaying certain interactions in their mind. A conversation where you showed them genuine understanding. A moment when your calm presence brought them unexpected comfort. A time when your words touched something deeper than they admitted at the time. These reflections are not happening randomly. The universe often guides a person toward emotional awakening by allowing them to revisit the past with a new perspective. And with every memory that returns, their heart becomes more aware of what they feel for you. Dear soul, something else is happening within them as well. They are beginning to recognize the difference between temporary connections and soulful ones. In the past, they may have believed that all relationships feel similar, that emotions are simple and replaceable, but your connection has taught them something different. Your energy stayed with them. Long after moments passed, your presence left an imprint they could not easily explain. Even when they tried to distract themselves with other aspects of life, something about your connection continued to appear in their thoughts. At first, this confused them. They questioned why your memory remained so persistent. But now, they are slowly understanding the answer. It remained because the bond between your souls carries depth. Dear soul, when someone reaches this stage of realization, their emotional resistance begins dissolving quickly. The barriers that once protected them no longer feel necessary. In fact, those barriers begin to feel heavy. Because holding back the truth of the heart requires more energy than expressing it. Your soulmate has started sensing this weight. There are moments when they feel the urge to reach out to you, moments when they almost speak their truth, but then pause, gathering courage. This hesitation does not mean they are uncertain about their feelings. It simply means they are learning how to express emotions they once avoided. For someone who has spent a long time protecting their heart, vulnerability can feel unfamiliar. But unfamiliar does not mean impossible. With each passing day, they are becoming more comfortable with the idea of honesty. Dear soul, something very important is also happening within their emotional maturity. They are beginning to understand the responsibility that comes with genuine feelings. In the past, they may have believed that emotions should remain private, hidden away where they could not affect anything. But now they are realizing that true connection deserves acknowledgement. Ignoring it would only create regret. This is powerful. Because when a person begins thinking about regret, they start reconsidering the choices they made before. Your soulmate has started asking themselves a quiet question. What would happen if they never told you the truth about how they feel? That question has stayed with them. And the more they think about it, the more they realize that silence would not bring peace. Silence would only leave unanswered feelings in their heart. Dear soul, this realization is guiding them toward courage. Courage does not arrive suddenly like lightning. It grows slowly, like a sunrise appearing over the horizon. At first, the light is faint, then it becomes clearer. Then suddenly, the entire sky changes color. That is exactly how emotional courage develops within a person. And that sunrise has already begun within your soulmate. You may not see it yet, But inside their heart, the light of honesty is growing stronger every day. The universe is helping them recognize that expressing their feelings does not mean losing control. It means gaining freedom. Freedom from the confusion they once carried. Freedom from the silence that kept them distant. Freedom from the fear of facing their own heart. Dear soul, the energy between you and this person is also shifting during this time. You may feel subtle waves of emotion without knowing why. You may suddenly think about them more often than before. You may feel moments of calm certainty that something meaningful is approaching. These sensations are not imagination. When two souls share a deep connection, their emotional energy often moves in harmony. As your soulmate approaches truth, your own intuition begins sensing the shift. This is the universe allowing your spirit to feel the alignment taking place. But remember something important, dear soul. Your role during this stage remains the same as it has always been. Stay centered in your own peace. Continue honoring your growth. Do not feel the need to control how or when their confession will appear, because authentic expression cannot be forced by expectation. It must rise naturally from the heart, and the universe is already guiding them toward that moment. Very soon they will reach a point where holding back no longer feels right. The truth will sit within them like a quiet flame that refuses to fade. And when that flame becomes strong enough, their heart will seek release through words. That conversation will not come from confusion. It will come from realization. A realization that your connection carries meaning they can no longer deny. For now, dear soul, simply remain aware. Remain open to the gentle movements of destiny unfolding around you. Because the heart that once stayed silent is no longer hiding from its truth. It is slowly preparing to reveal it. And when that moment arrives, the sincerity behind their words will carry the weight of everything they have finally understood. Dear soul, as this quiet transformation continues within them, another layer of truth is beginning to rise. Your soulmate is starting to understand that the connection they feel toward you is not something that appeared by accident. They are recognizing that some people enter life briefly, while others arrive with a deeper purpose, and slowly, gently, your presence in their story is beginning to look different to them. It feels meaningful. It feels significant. It feels like something that cannot simply be replaced or forgotten. This realization has been growing stronger with every reflection they experience. There were moments when they tried to convince themselves that life would move forward the same without you. But time has shown them something else. Your absence created a space that nothing else filled in the same way. Conversations with others did not carry the same understanding. Moments that once felt exciting now sometimes feel incomplete. And during those quiet realizations, your energy returns to their mind with surprising clarity. Dear soul, the universe often allows distance so that the heart can see clearly. When two people stand too close to a connection, they sometimes miss its depth. But when life creates space, perspective begins to appear. That is exactly what has happened within your soulmate. Distance gave them time to think. Silence gave them time to feel. And reflection gave them the courage to admit what their heart already knew. They care for you deeply, much more deeply than they allowed themselves to admit before. This truth has been sitting quietly inside them. At first, it felt uncomfortable, because accepting their feelings meant accepting vulnerability. It meant acknowledging that someone else has the ability to touch their heart in a powerful way. For someone who once protected themselves carefully, that realization required courage. But courage has been growing within them day by day. Dear soul, there have been moments recently when they imagined speaking honestly to you. They have played those conversations inside their mind. They have wondered what words they would choose. They have imagined how you might react when you finally hear the truth they have been holding inside. These thoughts have appeared more frequently than before, And each time they appear, their fear becomes slightly smaller. Because the more they imagine honesty, the more natural it begins to feel. This is how the heart prepares itself for expression. It rehearses the truth quietly before it speaks it aloud. And that preparation is happening right now within them. They are no longer asking themselves whether their feelings are real. That question has already been answered in their heart. Instead, they are asking when the right moment will come to share what they feel. Dear soul, the universe is guiding them toward that moment with gentle precision. Certain circumstances will begin aligning soon. Conversations will open naturally. Situations will appear that allow honesty to rise without pressure. The universe always creates space for truth to emerge in a way that feels authentic. When that moment arrives, your soulmate will not speak from confusion. They will speak from understanding, because everything they have been reflecting on has slowly built the courage they needed. And when they finally express their feelings, their words will carry sincerity that comes from deep realization. Dear soul, when that moment comes, remember the journey that brought both of you here. Remember the patience you carried during uncertainty. Remember the strength you showed when silence filled the space between you. Those experiences were not meaningless. They prepared both hearts for a more honest connection. Your growth allowed you to remain balanced. Their awakening allowed them to discover their truth. And now those two paths are gently moving toward each other again. But even as this beautiful moment approaches, the universe asks you to hold one final understanding. True connection is not built on urgency, it is built on presence. When someone expresses their heart sincerely, the most powerful response is calm awareness. Allow their truth to arrive naturally. Allow their emotions to unfold without pressure. Because when honesty flows freely, it creates a foundation that can support something lasting. Dear soul, you were never meant to chase this connection. You were meant to recognize it. And your soulmate was never meant to hide their feelings forever. They were meant to grow into the courage to express them. That is the transformation taking place now. The universe has guided them through reflection, through awareness, through emotional awakening. And step by step, it has brought them closer to the truth of their heart. Soon the silence that once surrounded this connection will feel very different, because it will no longer be filled with uncertainty. It will be filled with understanding. The words they once struggled to say will begin to find their way forward. Not dramatically, not suddenly, but sincerely. And when you hear those words, dear soul, you will recognize something familiar within them. The same quiet truth your own heart sensed long ago. Because the bond between two souls does not disappear, simply because it remains unspoken for a time. It waits patiently for the moment when both hearts are ready to acknowledge it. And that moment, dear soul, is quietly approaching now.